Hello, cherished souls, and welcome. How are you today? I decided to change my videos back to using my face and my own voice because I was typing stuff out and using AI to make it sound better and then correcting it to make it sound anyway. There's a lot of work, but and then just put it into the and then use the AI voice. One thing I noticed, using AI is good. It's okay for certain things. But one of the things that I noticed that it takes away the essence of the human souls as it speaks. It doesn't have the same profound um, essence, okay? And even though we may stutter, well, some of us, unless some people, a lot of people, what they do now is that they read it off. They have a setup with the screen, and they're reading it off, and so they don't stutter and do things like that, and and all that kind of stuff. And some people probably have just have lived have lived it very well and talk fluently, and that's fine. I'm just not one of those persons, and I tend to, because when I'm talking, a lot of the time I allow myself for some people, may say spirit. It's us, the connection that we make through our higher self, through our soul, to speak, to flow through. And if you are not an experienced in doing that, well, speaking, when I'm writing and when I'm doing other work situations, it flows a lot better. But when I have to speak it out, it tend to, um, you know, uh, not come through as clearly. And one of the things that I notice is you are translating from the soul. Some people call this, what do they call it now? Help me out here. Um, this new thing that's going around. What are people when they're connecting to with another and oh god, channeling. There you go. When oh my gosh. Okay. Now, excuse me. A lot of people say that they're channeling other entity, and it could be an aspect of their self. It could be, who knows. I don't know. I just know that all of us have the ability to tap into our soul consciousness. Okay. And we do it all the time. We do it when we're coming up with ideas. We're doing it when we're, doing, we're singing or coming up with it. We do it all the time. Okay. We're channeling all the time. We're channeling ourselves, our higher soul, our upper soul, whatever you want to call it. We do it all the time. So when we're doing it and when I'm doing this, it sometimes it doesn't come across because the like, say for instance, if the soul wants to say something and it has to speak through me, and sometimes my dialect, my language, vocabulary, extent, experience is not as broad as it uh, would like to come out, would like to enough for it to choose the vocabulary to for me to say it. Oh, like, say for instance, let's see. Like, say for instance, if I did not know the word, um, let's see, if I did not know the word, uh, let's say understanding. Okay, say if I didn't know that word. And it was trying to tell me that word. This is how to say it. So it's going to, and I don't know it. So it is going to use another, is going to want to use another word. Well, it first tried to use that word. Now, sometimes it will come through and I will just pick up on a word and, and I'll be like, oh, that's something is that a word? I've done that before. And then I try to spell it as much as I can, and then try to look it up and thinking, okay, I think this is what that word was. Oh, excuse me. I don't know how much of you can relate to this and what I'm actually talking about, but yes. Okay, so now, all right. In saying that, um, that would explain why, a lot of these people who, when they're doing this channel, you know, and they're just going on and they're just speaking so fluently and, whatever the case might be. And supposedly, I don't know. I believe, I'm not saying that that is not possible and that somebody is coming through to and speaking in that way. I'm not saying, but it's not the only way that some, people channel. Sometimes, you are really tapping into yourself. And, so anyway, let me get off of that because I'm, when I'm trying to explain, and that's the problem, when I'm trying to explain how my upper soul is is saying it to me, it's hard for me to translate it. Is That's the way that I'm trying to say. Okay, so I decided that I'm still just going to go ahead and just do this and see how this works. And there are going to be times when I'm going to use the AI to interpret the things that I write down and do it that way. But for certain things, I think it's best for me to actually do it this way. And one of the things that I want to talk about today is about us as humans being. I am going to address the so-called quote unquote chosen people. The chosen people, the Hebrews, the black Hebrews. Now, bear in mind that not all blacks, okay, are not all humans. First, let me say this: not all human possess a soul. Not all human possess a soul. And I know that's going to be hard. Since we're talking about the truth here, let's go ahead and spill it. Not all human has a soul. And not all black people has a soul. Okay? Now, who has a soul and who don't have a soul? Now, I'm seeing all these things where, there are video games and this one show. Oh, God, what is it? What was it, that show? Oh, is it The Good Guy? Oh, my gosh. Where he was actually a video game and he actually gained consciousness. I don't know if anybody remember that movie. It was funny. But anyway, um, there are souls here. There are souls and there are people without. There are people with souls and there are people without souls. Some people call them background people, if you want to put it that way. And the main character, like just like in a video game, okay? And it may seem really, I remember when I brought that up a lot years ago, I mean, but I was mostly a Facebook person. I mean, I wasn't so much for the videos. And then when I did uh, got on the scene and attempt to do some videos, and I did do some very little. Um, you know, I think if maybe if I stuck with it, and I might have a lot of viewers by now. And I think I was gaining momentum at some point, and I had to do some spiritual cleaning again myself, because I was getting too caught up into a lot of the drama with the 2020 situation. So I I had to, I feel like I really needed to get back to my spirituality. I was getting caught up in the this distraction. And that's what's going on right now. And there's so much things that I would like to talk about, but before I do that, I want to really address the people that believe that they are not the blacks, that are the chosen ones. Okay. And the chosen people are in many race. The chosen people are simply the people who are many, yeah, are in many race. Now, as I said, there are some people that have souls, and there are some people who do not have souls. Okay. The people who have souls are here to experience, to learn. And it's not so much, they already know everything. And some people say to me sometimes, well, you think you know everything, especially my family, you think you know everything. And I would say to them, I used to, anyway, I say to them now, um, yeah, I do. I just forgot most of it. And in a way, that is so true. We all do. But we forgot. We lost our memory when we came here. We came in here, and that was the deal, that we don't remember anything. Okay? And it's kind of like, learning how to fly a plane or drive a car or to cook, uh, you know, uh, in a virtual situation. But it's not the same as when you actually physically do it, to experience the actual cooking. It's not going to be the same. So that's what our life is right now, is that we are going through this experience to experience it, and that help us to gain immense wisdom. Now, on the other side, we know a lot. We are loving. We are happy. We are so much. And when we go through these experience and expand ourselves, we expand ourself over there. You see, and here in a job, we go up the ladder by, we work hard, we get promoted as a manager, and so on, and then you're a CEO, and you're whatever, or you work harder, or you get your own company, or whatever the case might be, and you become there's no money. So our promotion is through our experience as becoming, expanding with wisdom, with gaining wisdom, to becoming gods. I mean, we're all, if you want to say, gods, but however, we have the chance, as you would say, to sit on the right hand of God. Like, for instance, Mother Earth, Gaia, as they call her, that is to become a planet, a living planet, because she is A lot of people say this is assimilated. In a sense, I can understand where they're going with that, yes, but it's not. Mother Earth, and that is to say that, okay, it is simulated, so therefore we can treat the Earth as we want because it's not real. It is real. Mother Earth is real. The animals are real. They're spirit. Okay? The the trees are real. The insects are real. They're all participating in this adventure. And someone said, I've heard people who say that it once human souls, and okay, that's probably right. Souls are not animals, and soul will never be animals, or whatever the case might be, and but in a sense, not in how can I, okay, we're all spirit, we're all experiencing, and some people say that a dog doesn't have a soul. They go on uh they go on um instincts. Okay. So everyone that is incarnated here, whether you're incarnated as an animal, an insect, a bacteria, whatever the case might be, that experience you do not last. And as far as I know, and this is what I've been told, is that the soul, oh, I could be wrong with that. The soul records. And if anybody knows anything differently, please let me know. And I like actually talking, because when I do talk and to explain what I'm going through, sometimes I actually get an epiphany, like, oh, okay. That's why sometimes when, they say people who talk to themselves are geniuses, because when you talk these things out, you actually pick up on certain things. But nevertheless, okay, whatever it is that a being is experiencing, all of us can tap into that experience. All of us can tap into that experience. So whether you are a soul, or whether you are just a spirit that is here, the experience is there. And that person, that spirit that is experiencing that experience, will take that experience with them. Now, here's the thing: a soul, a spirit that comes here, depending on the path that spirit choose to take, choose to take. Like, say for instance, if they were supposed to come here and become a villain, and then for some reason, whatever they chose, they actually became aware, and they're not now on this program that they are here to do. They develop an awareness, and they chose a different path. Okay, they chose a different part to be good, and everyone have a choice. When we come here, we're experiencing. We have a choice. Every experience gives us a choice to choose. Gives us the opportunity to choose. Okay, and from that choosing, gives us the opportunity now to graduate. So if you are a spirit that came here, you now can have that opportunity to actually develop your soul. Because when we come into incarnation, and I've only, I think, explained this in a group that I was in, that when we come here, not all of our soul is here. Our soul is too big. It's too great. It's too powerful to come into this body. So just a little bit comes in. A little bit, just a little bit at a time comes in. And as we as we say, we either, as we grow up, we either get separated more and more from our soul. 'Cause our soul is still here, but it's kind of like in the background, and it's because we're separated from it. It's in the background. And if we choose a life of crime and corruption and drugs and stuff like that, our souls step back. So it's not really here experiencing that. It steps back. So the spirit is experiencing that. The spirit is experiencing that. The soul is is um is is recording, if you want to say. It's the soul can feel and understand what they're going through, but it's not really physically um I don't know if any of that makes sense to anybody. I mean, and that's what I'm getting at with a lot of people. As I explain a lot of things, it's like, I know, you know, I know what I'm talking about. I know it, but now it's just a matter of me explaining it. It's breaking it down. Myself in my human form is breaking it down now to explain it on a human level. And that's where that whole, coming, when I come out to say things, it's kind of like blah, 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 it's like marbles in my mouth. It's hard to spit it out. So I'm doing the best that I can. Okay. So we as what do you call it? Whatever this new word people are saying, star seeds, whatever. I don't care, whatever you want to call it. But souls, 144, okay? Some people are going to say 144 is not, there's not really a person. It's something that has to do with, your 144 spines or whatever it is, or whatever. I've talked about this in another video that I'm actually still working on. Well, hopefully by this, I would have posted it by then, but if I haven't posted it, I'm working on it. And it's that our soul, we are 144,000, and if you are 144,000, you will know. You know already by dreams, by in some way vision, somehow it would have been related to you by now. And knowing, and this is what all the distraction is coming down really, really hard, because they want to distract, like all the people who have the ability to become the 144,000 and the people who are the chosen ones, and they are doing everything. They are coming out with wars. They are putting everything. The TikTok, YouTube, they are giving you money, paying you to have content, keeping you busy on where the screen, visualization. Your mind is the most powerful things. And I'm not saying that you should not be on YouTube or TikTok, but use it wisely. Flood it with information that is meaningful. Flood it with love. Flood it with information that has to do with building each of us up spiritually. All this stuff that we're talking about war, where, right now everybody heard about the thing with Putin, and trust me, I don't trust any of these people. I think I heard one guy, I forgot his name, said all of these people are in on it at some level, whether they know it or not. all these governments, they're in on it. And they are moving in a way to fulfill whatever that's out there. So, guys, just know that you need to turn away. We as people can change this world right now dramatically by just simply walking away. How many of you, now, here are the people who said, we're the chosen one, but how many one of you are willing to put this world behind you that you know? How many are you are willing to walk away from the TV, from the the YouTube, from from all the electronic stuff? How many are willing to walk away? And even if you don't walk away from it in that sense, how many of you are willing to walk away in a sense that feeding yourself with love, spiritual things that's going to raise your vibration, and walk away from the things that are not? The low vibrational stuff, watching cops people beat the cops beat up people, watching people fight. Oh, thank God we don't see too many of that anymore, because people really started to go, well, I'm not going to watch that. That's crazy. We don't want to watch that. And guess what? That is not a thing anymore. People don't, but when it was getting a lot of attention, people were posting that crap all the time. I'm not saying it's still not out there. I don't know, but I don't see it in my feed, and maybe because I'm not doing it. But I don't think that is actually being a thing anymore. When the Karen came along, everybody was posting that. That was getting here. So you see what I'm talking about? So if you change, and one of the things you got to notice, the people who with souls, especially people of color. I talked about this all the time, and I used to say, why can't Black people realize that when they come up with something, everybody follows? Why? Do you ever wonder why? Because you are the dominant species. You are the one with the soul. You're the one that are creative. You are the one. And the thing is that, okay, you remember how whites couldn't dance? You remember how they really, couldn't dance that well or sing a certain way? But now a lot of them are starting to really get the groove and dance. And guess why? Our blood is being really mixing over the generation. We're mixing. We have mixed. Okay, in a lot of ways. White with Spanish who have blood, and that blood has been mixed. And now, you have people, you see white people have got some groove and talent in those areas and stuff like that. So it's not to say it's a new generation. A soul has the ability to express itself, because feelings, it has to have a certain type of emotion, feelings that can sing a certain way, that grips you in your heart and in your vibe, that speaks to you in so many levels, a dance that speaks to you in so many different ways. Does anybody understand this? When they said that the humans is to dominate the animal, to dominate the creatures, okay? It doesn't have dominion over the earth and over the creatures. It doesn't mean to dominate them. It doesn't mean to dominate them. It means that you are the ones that are in control, and they will follow. Everything, every creature will follow. So if you are violent, this is why the animals are violent, because you are violent. You are eating each other. You are eating the animals you are killing. If you become peaceful, if you become loving, all of you, And this is why they don't want you to tap into that love and into that oneness. Because if you become peaceful and if everybody becomes peaceful, everybody else will have no choice but to become peaceful, because you are the dominant species. But if they keep you on the level where you are singing, you are talking about bitches and whores and things of that nature, and keeping you in that level, then that will be the dominating vibe in this world. Okay? Because you are the one that's in control. You are the one as the most powerful creature that is on this earth. Are you guys listening to me? Do you hear this? You, people of color, are the most powerful and dominating creatures in this world. Get with it. Wake up. Pull away from, start developing your spirituality and your gift, but you have to give up all that stuff. This is not going to happen overnight. I know this. But start making a difference. You're eating. Once you start to develop your spirituality, you will not want to eat meat. You will not want to eat a lot of the stuff that you're eating. And I know that's going to take some time. But if you really, really make that decision to become the God, the creature, the soul that you are, you will develop your spirituality. Okay, I'm going to have to check out now, guys. Please share with us what you're doing. Share with us what we should be doing. All right, I got to go. Talk to you guys later. All right. Share and like. Love you guys.